Have you ever wished you could know what someone is really thinking, not by reading their mind, but by asking the kind of question that makes their mask fall away? The truth is, you don't need to be a mind reader. You just need to ask smarter questions. People spend so much of their lives trying to appear put together. But deep down, what they crave most is to be understood, not judged, not analyzed, but seen. And when you ask the right kind of question, you give them that permission. They open up in ways that even surprise themselves. Today, I'll share 5 simple questions that help you understand anyone's true thoughts. They aren't tricks or manipulations, they're tools for connection. The third one, especially, reveals what someone values most but rarely says out loud. Let's begin. The first question: what's been the highlight of your week so far? It sounds simple, but this question is a mirror of someone's values. When you ask, "How's your week going?" people usually answer, "busy, fine," or "tiring." Those are autopilot responses, surface level. But when you ask, "What's been the highlight of your week?" you force them to look for light, for the one thing that genuinely brought them joy. Their answer tells you everything. If they mention finishing a big project, they value achievement and progress. If they talk about helping a friend, they value service and relationships. If they mention quiet time or peace, they value reflection and calm. And if they say, "Honestly, nothing really stood out," that's revealing too. It shows they may be going through a low period, disconnected from the moments that used to energize them. So listen not only to the words, but to their energy when they speak. Do their eyes light up? Does their tone shift? That spark shows you where their happiness truly lives. The second question: what's something you used to believe, but don't anymore? This one digs deeper. It doesn't just show what they think, it shows how they evolve. When someone answers this, they reveal their humility, their ability to reflect, and their comfort with being wrong. A person who can admit change is someone who learns instead of defends. Maybe they say, "I used to believe working harder always meant success, but now I know rest matters too." That tells you they've faced burnout and learned balance. Or they might say, "I used to think asking for help made me weak. Now I realize it's a strength." That's emotional maturity in one sentence. If someone struggles to answer at all, that's telling too. It often means they rarely reflect or resist change altogether. So if you want to see someone's depth, ask about what they've outgrown. The third question: if you could change how people treat each other, what would you change? This question bypasses defenses. It doesn't ask about them directly, it asks about humanity. That safety makes people honest. Their answer reveals their core values and often their emotional scars. They say, "I wish people were more honest," they've probably been betrayed before. If they say, "I wish people listened more," they've likely felt unheard. If they say, "I wish people were kinder," they've known cruelty. Each answer shows what they cherish most in relationships and what they've lacked. You're not just hearing their wish for the world, you're hearing their personal pain turned into principle. Ask this in a calm tone, then stay quiet. People will often reveal more than they plan to. The fourth question: what's a decision you made that surprised even you? This one uncovers how people respond to change, whether they run from it or rise to it. When someone recalls a decision that shocked even themselves, you see who they are beneath routine. Maybe they quit a job, ended a relationship, or spoke up when they usually stay silent. That's growth. That's courage in disguise. It shows they have layers beyond their surface identity. If someone says, "I don't really surprise myself," it might mean they stay in their comfort zone, predictable, perhaps even afraid to evolve. But if their face lights up and they say, "I can't believe I actually did that," you've just met the part of them that's alive. That spark is who they really are. The fifth question: what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? This one goes straight to the soul. It strips away fear, logic, and excuses, and reveals what they truly want. When people answer, you hear their deepest calling, the thing they've silenced under responsibility and fear. Someone might say, "I'd start a school," or "I'd travel the world and tell people's stories," or even, "I'd finally write that book I've been scared to begin." These aren't fantasies. They're truths that have been waiting for permission to exist. And when they speak them aloud, you can see it, their energy changes. Their tone fills with conviction. That's the real them. If you listen carefully, you'll know exactly what drives them, even if they haven't admitted it to themselves yet. When you ask this question, you're not just learning their dreams, you're giving them a safe space to remember them. Here's the beauty of it all: you don't need to read people. You just need to understand them. When you know someone's highlights, you see what energizes them. When you know what they've outgrown, you see their growth. When you know what they'd change in the world, you see their values. When you know what surprises them, you see their courage. And when you know what they'd do without fear, you see their soul. These 5 questions transform small talk into connection. So try asking one this week. You'll be amazed how quickly people open up, because deep down, everyone is waiting for someone who finally asks what really matters. This helped you see people more clearly. Hit like, subscribe for more insights, and tell me in the comments, which question will you try first? Because the truth is, understanding others begins the moment you stop trying to impress and start trying to see.